Hey Cornerstone, this is Pastor Dave with this week's sermon preview. This week we're going to be looking at Mark chapter 8. And in Mark's gospel, this is the first real prediction that Jesus gives to his disciples about his death and resurrection. And it is not met with kindly, particularly by Peter, who takes Jesus aside and rebukes him for what he's saying. And Jesus gets really charged up by this because essentially what Jesus is doing is saying, Peter, it's not because you don't want me to suffer that you're denying my death and resurrection. It's because you don't want to suffer and you don't want to go through pain. And what's happened is Peter's putting two and two together here, that if my Messiah, my Lord, is going to suffer, that means that we are all going to suffer. And that's not the kind of kingdom we want, especially on this earth. And what Jesus does is he starts to call his disciples to himself, big crowd of disciples, and he says, anybody who's going to follow me needs to take up their cross. And what he's saying is that the gospel normalizes the pain of self-sacrifice. And yet the gospel covers us so that we actually do this, covers us so that we're not ultimately shamed, and covers us so we actually don't really lose our lives, but we actually gain it. And so this is what we're going to be talking about on Sunday is self-sacrifice for God's people because of Christ's self-sacrifice. So hopefully we'll see you there on Sunday. Until then, God bless.